Walter Sisulu University, Angela Church. A very good morning to you, and thank you very much for speaking to us, Ms. Church. What is the latest situation now?
Good morning. Well, the DG's media release yesterday has set out the issues at the university very clearly, and from that we can understand why the management offer is only 4.25%. What is going to happen today is there is a planned meeting between management, labour leaders, with an independent mediator from a private negotiation company. So there is a meeting this morning in East London to try to see if we can draw up an agenda and commence talks next week.
Now, you had given students up until again today to vacate the premises. How are you going to enforce that ultimatum?
Well, our information at this point, we called for the students to vacate on Tuesday, then we extended the deadline to today. Students have been going home, but we can only really assess the situation after 5 o'clock today, and then we'll take further decisions thereafter.
But what are your expectations, that they're going to heed this ultimatum?
Yes, I think most of them have. There is a core group of students who, particularly our student leaders, who are not supporting the decision. But we will deal with that matter, I think, once we have how many students have refused to leave.
Okay, let's go back to the issue of funding. As I mentioned in the introduction, that the Director General at the Department of Higher Education has called on striking workers to make sacrifices so that learning and teaching can resume. But he was critical of the fact that the university has an unusually high percentage of salary expenditure. What are the plans going forward? I mean, if you're standing at 75% of income in terms of your total budget, while the national payroll norm is between 55 and 62%, something's got to give.
Yes, no, you're absolutely correct. That's why the university is presently under administration. Minister Nzimande appointed Professor Lawrence van Staden in October 2011 with very specific terms of reference. One of those, of course, was to get the university out of debt and to stabilize the finances. This year we do have a break-even budget. And then as part of the future planning, we are developing a divisional governance and management model to implement over the very widespread campuses of the university. And within that, of course, the exceptionally high payroll must be addressed.
But I mean, I think there's a bigger issue here, and that is the issue of how you naturally approach these matters. You can't be amongst the lowest performing universities and yet believe that there needs to be bonuses for staff members. What you have to do is inculcate a sense that performing at a higher level is much more important than getting paid bigger salaries.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and this is one of the really thorny issues that have resulted out of the merger to form WSU in 2005. There's a lot of disparity across the campuses, across the various operations of the university, and much of the harmonization that should have taken place over the last 7 years has simply not been able to be completed.
Thank you very much for your time. Angela Church is spokesperson